If Mr. Ramnath Goenka were alive today, what in today's media ecosystem he would cringe about and what would he love?
Oh. Huh. Um, I'm going to take an aside and tell you this just yesterday. It's one of the most emotional moments for me in the last 10, 15 years, because for the first time, I saw Dadaji on video. Just yesterday. We could never find a video of him. Obviously, there are photographs. But just yesterday, I saw a video, and thanks to my colleague Kumi Kapoor, she found one old DVD and sent it. By the time it got given to me in a format that I could watch, it took about 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and finally yesterday I saw it. What he did during the emergency was his
Crazy.
brand and how he fought for how he fought against powers, but in a very, in a very, do what you like. He fought as if he had nothing to lose, although he had a lot to lose. He sold his wife's jewelry to keep the press going. He was completely, Express was completely. It had been reduced by the government with every possible way. They would not let the newsprint come into the office. I genuinely think of Express, he would be proud because we have been independent. So I think he would be happy with Express taking very tough positions in a world where nobody else seems to. Nobody, there isn't a single news organization that has any investigations today.
Yeah, I was actually coming to that. So
there isn't a single, right? There isn't a single organization which, if you look at the last, and I asked ChatGPT this, if you look about 6 months ago, if you look at the last 15 years in Parliament, the most cited newspaper, the most cited news organization in Parliament has been Indian Express consistently. He would be very happy about that. The most cited newspaper in court judgments has been Indian Express consistently. He'd be very happy about that. What he would not be happy about is the cost of things.
was he also a businessman at the heart of it?
Dadaji was famous for he just didn't like to spend money. He just didn't like to spend money. His journalists were there for the mission. So he would be like, "Arey, bachche ki shaadi main kara dunga." He would give the housing for the guy, give a car, whatever. But cash out, he was famous for keeping a very, very tight fist.
You can't do that in today's day and age.
You can.
Can you?
You can, 100%. I know news organizations who don't pay because they are fighting an ideology war. So then they attract people who are only into the ideology piece.
I don't know how much of that is journalism.
Exactly. Maybe they're in it authentically as activists. They genuinely believe that they need to be activists and they want to see a change. And I respect that approach and the commitment you have to your ideology. But that's not journalism today. There is a big difference between activism and journalism.
Do you have any early memories of you with him?
I have, of course I have.
Your favorite one?
My earliest memories of my life are with him in the press. Because I used to live in Bombay. I was born in Bombay. I live in where he used to live now. I lived there. It was in Express Towers. So his house was on the top. The whole building was an office building. It still is.
Where I met you.
Where you met me, yes. Yeah. That's where he used to live. That was his house. And at the basement was the press. Yeah. Not there anymore, but that's where the press used to be. So my earliest memory, if I think about my earliest memory in my life, it is the noise of the press. Because it was a bloody loud thing. The whole machine was so loud.
Yeah.
And the smell of the ink. And those very, rickety stairs to get to the press, and an old man wearing a dhoti, sort of holding me while we walk down it. So that is the first. If I think my first memory of my life, it is that. And my memories of Dadaji are actually from the stories about him after he passed, because the walls in my house have stories. It is insane the kind of stories that have been told. And I still meet people. Modi ji gave the Ramnath Goenka lecture in November. And he mentioned it at the lecture, and then after the event, we spoke for a few minutes, and I had no idea. I keep hearing something new. I had no idea about the extent of Dadaji's involvement in Hyderabad. When Hyderabad was trying to break away from when they weren't joining,
Correct.
They weren't joining the Federation, the Indian
In Indian as a
India as a country, and they were kind of
country,
saying-
yeah.
I had no idea the extent of Dadaji's involvement back then. He was telling me.
What is it to inherit legacy the way you did? Is it a burden? Is it a privilege? How do you kind of process that?
I've never thought of it as a burden. I've always thought of it as only a privilege. And look, I'll be very honest, man, Sunny. I think that a lot of my friends and like a lot of the friends who I was in school with, I think are much smarter than they are making way more money than I am. Right? So I'm doing this because it's my legacy. It's my family's legacy to protect.
Of course.
So I've always viewed that as a privilege. I'm always very excited about it. This is what our legacy is. This is what our inheritance is. So we've taken those decisions and we're going at it, right? And just being true to that path is, it's good. It's good to have a reminder कि ये है. This is the path that the founder laid for the organization. This is the path we continue to take.